Everybody, it's Mr. Movie X Kicks, and I'm here to break down the Dragon Ball Z Broly review movie for you right after this. Dragon Ball Z Super Broly gives us insight on how life was on planet Vegeta before it was destroyed by Frieza. We learned that in the beginning stages of the movies, we learned that Broly was born with an abnormal high power level, and King Vegeta, in the fearfulness of Broly's power, he was sent away to with harsh living conditions to die. 5 years later, Bardock, a lower class warrior, sent his son Goku to planet Earth in fear that Frieza would destroy planet Vegeta, which he did. Fast forward present day, after the Tournament of Power, and Goku and Vegeta come face to face with one of their most fiercest rivals of all time, with Broly, with a large help from Frieza, how they got to this point. Now, that was just a brief summary. I don't want to go too in details with the summary. I mean, the movie has been out for a little bit. It came out last week, and it actually did really well. It did $10 million, so that's actually very well for a movie of this magnitude, because it's not in a very wide release. Most theaters that are showing the movie, it's only showing it like one showing, like at 7:30 or 7, and that's pretty much it. But not a couple theaters are showing it more times, but most are showing it just once. But I have to say, I actually really enjoyed this movie. It was probably one of my best Dragon Ball Z movies. You know, a lot of the movies that come out are kind of like, you know, in between kind of movies, and we really don't get much out of them. Like, they go against the storyline, either before the main TV show storyline, or they're a filler almost movie. But this one was after the Tournament of Power, so it was after one of their biggest, most successful series. So that was good that it came after a major event. And we've known Broly, because in 1993 they had the first Broly, and I think after that, I think another one came out in 97. And we've all seen Broly off and on, but this is actually a good representation of Broly. It tells us where he came from. It also goes back to the original creator of Dragon Ball came back and helped make this. So that was another thing that I think a lot of people loved about this movie, was the original creator came back and put his spin on it, and it was such a beautiful story. We actually got a lot of insight on what life was like on planet Vegeta before it was destroyed. We learned that we all know the Saiyans were a stronger race than most, and they were conquerors. They would go to planets and they would conquer them. But the one thing I didn't understand is how Frieza actually was given reins to the Saiyans from his father, who stepped down. And we also learned that Frieza was the one who gave everyone the Scouters, so that you saw in the very beginning. I'm like, oh, so he was the one who invented the Scouters and gave it to him. We also see some of Bardock, Goku's father, and we also see some of his mother, and we also see what life was like on planet Vegeta. And we also get a good insight of what happened after the explosion, like where everyone was, how they survived. We learned that Vegeta, Nappa, and Radix were all together on a mission. And of course, Goku was sent to Earth. So, you know, and of course, as we saw, Broly was sent to this desolate world to survive. And I loved how Broly's story was just something we had never heard of. Like, they actually went full in depth with Broly's story, like what his life was like on this planet. It was hell. He lived in it was basically an island full of monsters. I mean, excuse me, a planet full of monsters. And he had this abnormal strength and power that he could overpower almost all these aliens. And he somehow survived and was found by Frieza's force and brought back to Frieza. And Frieza found out that he was a Saiyan. And with that in mind, he actually kind of brought him to fight the Dragon Ball Z fighters. So, you know, Frieza, that was one thing that I kind of got tripped off, because Frieza's always going to be Frieza. He's always going to be, you know, the main antagonist, villain on the side, even though you thought he was good in Tournament of Power, which he did help out, but he was going in for his own cause. He's still the same old same. So, but I loved how the action in this movie was just amazing. Like, it was almost like I said, watching the TV show, but better, because I was lucky because I got to see it in IMAX as well. So it was interesting because everyone knows that the legend of the Super Saiyans and Broly has been on this planet, so he knew nothing of the Super Saiyans, he knew of Super Saiyan gods, he knew nothing of these powers that Vegeta and Goku have excelled to, but yet he held his own with them with his own abnormal power level. And it was so weird because Broly, when he turned, I guess, super, if you will, he didn't turn yellow, he turned green. So it was interesting that they gave him his own spin on power, almost like all the Saiyans can go either regular or Super Saiyan God, but he had his own special power level that he went to. So for the ones that seen Dragon Ball and know the movie and know the series, you guys know what I'm talking about. For those who do not know anything about Dragon Ball, you guys are missing out. You had to start all the way back at zero. But all in all, this was a great movie. I highly recommend everyone to see that's a Dragon Ball Z fan. The only bad thing I can say about this movie is that the ending it was a very Dragon Ball ending. It was like we kind of didn't get a definite answer on we kind of didn't get a definite answer of who the supreme winner was. And, I don't want to give the spoils. I gave a lot of it away, but I'm not going to give away the ending. We kind of just didn't get a definite answer of who the supreme warrior of the three, of Broly, Vegeta, and Goku are. But I'm not going to say it wasn't a bad ending. It was such a Dragon Ball Z ending. I would have preferred maybe a different ending, but if it ended the way that I wanted to, Broly wouldn't be any other one. So I'm kind of glad that they ended the way they did, now that I think about it. But I kind of wouldn't have minded a different ending and approach to that. So with that said, please drop me some comments, guys. Let me know what you guys have thought about this movie. If you liked it, if you loved it, if you hated it, just tell me something. Leave me some comments. Let me know. Next time, guys, Mr. Movie X Shoes is out. I'll holler at you guys later.